Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and this is a before and after guest video from Demolition Hound in the Super Gundam. Super Gundam was part of the Festival of Buffs this month and got some really good ones. It gained two really good new abilities. It can now charge its rifle to 2 levels and has a really strong Garrowby at the last level. And it now also has a rapid fire rifle subweapon. So yeah, it is really strong. There's been talk about it possibly being overpowered. I think we'll see how it comes out. I don't know. Might be okay, might not. That's why they bonk the microphone, which I shouldn't have done. That's why they collect data of afterwards to see how these things turned out. So, yeah, I will definitely be interested to look at the monthly buff report at the end of June because, yeah, that is going to have some interesting information. I am really looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, Super Gundam was always good. There was for the longest time it was only available in space, and it also, I believe, at that point, only had 2 weapons. It only had the missiles and the long rifle. When they finally made it available on ground, they added the dummy balloon feature. The dummy balloon is kind of a stealth skill because the dummy balloon replaces your mobile suit on enemy radar for a few seconds. If enemies come in contact with the dummy balloon, they are stunned and have their speed reduced, just like if they were hit with the birdlime launcher. I don't know if it has the flight and transformation cancellation ability that the birdlime launchers do. Technically, the Super Gundam should have both because the Gundam Mark II does have a birdlime launcher, both in game and in universe. So, yeah, no reason it couldn't. Though, if you wanted to, if you wanted to just say that is a multi-launcher and they only loaded dummy balloons on the Super Gundam, that would make sense too. Because after all, they did, that is basically I want to say like midway through the series, you'd stop seeing the sealant launcher quite as much. It figured in a lot into the first few episodes, I want to say, and then after that, just kind of fell off. But yeah, like I said, Super Gundam always been really good at doing damage. It is. I think when they added the birdlime launcher and moved it to ground, they also revised the heat on the rifle because it used to be that you really didn't have a lot of options once the rifle was overheated. The missiles are good, but also just it was kind of difficult to manage all that. They have, like a lot of suits in the game, they have progressively made it better to keep up with the power creep of the game in general, and I'm just as happy to see that. Let's see. Yeah, trying to think. They did actually announce a new Gundam game today. It is called Gundam Rogue Orbit, and it is going to be for all the major platforms, and seems to be from the preview that has gone out. Basically a people versus aliens kind of story. I don't know how I feel about that. It's, I've seen people suggest maybe they'll pull a Gundam Age where the enemies are just only thought to be aliens at the beginning, but honestly, like I said, don't know how I feel about it. Just to be honest, Gundam being about wars between people, or at least conflict between people, is kind of like key to the whole thing, in my opinion. It was one of the things that set it apart from other robot shows in 1979. It is, most shows were about, most robot shows at that point were about super robots versus monsters, aliens, whatever. I mean, there is the fact that it's still like mass-produced military robots versus aliens, which is a little bit different at least, but yeah, we're still kind of approaching the anime robot franchise of Theseus territory here. I'll be interested to see how it is, but I just don't know if what I look uh, for in Gundam is going to be, really part of this. It's going to be interesting to see how that all comes out. The design, I want to say, very much along the lines of the Gundam EX. Like, it's not bad. It's just heavily detailed, and I'm not sure if that's to its benefit just for my aesthetic taste. Again, I am trying to be really just kind of circumspect about this because I don't want to be down on it before I barely know anything about it. It's not coming out until next year. Hopefully we get more information soon, but yeah, just, first glance looks like it's relatively well done, but just may not be what I would hope for. Also, just as a Transformers fan, I really just kind of hope there's an awful lot of what I like about Transformers that is not reflected in Michael Bay movies, and I just don't want to see another thing I like just kind of maybe push the boundaries of what it is that I like about it that makes it good to try and, get a broader mass market appeal. But that's just normal fan carping. Obviously, it's going to be what it's going to be. We'll see how it turns out, and just nothing new they make ever will ever make First Gundam go away. So not it's not that important that everything that comes out reflect what I think is best about Gundam. Gundam is big enough that that's not never going to be the case. Likewise, Transformers. There are still good Transformers stories being made. There are ones I have enjoyed quite a bit, and if I don't like a movie here or there, it's just mildly frustrating. But I'm not against Gundam having broader appeal. I don't know if for people who, for younger fans, like, it is still to this day such a delight to have people know what I'm talking about. Like, I came up, I came in with, the beginnings of the anime boom in the mid 90s when I finally started figuring out all the stuff I liked, all the cartoons I liked as a kid largely came from Japan. And that was not common knowledge then. And yeah, just finding other people who actually knew about that stuff was just a treat. And so, yeah, if more people end up getting into Gundam via this game, via the movie, via whatever, I'm happy with it. Let's see. And looks like Demo had a really good round. Let's take a look at the final stats before we go to the post-buff round. Okay, mission failed. I have been blathering so much. Okay, wow, 100-point difference, and Demo nearly swept the board. 5,700 of that 13,000 was him. 132,000 damage. Top diversions 8 and 3. Really good round. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, we are back with part 2, which, yeah, you can tell this is newer just because Demo is in his new custom colors, which I really like. They look good. And let's see. Yep, just setting up. As you can see, 2 levels of charge. And yeah, the Garaby from the second level charge is like scary potent. It can do at higher levels. I have done this is the level 1 Super Gundam too at 550. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you can do 20,000 damage to a raid at 700 with that Garaby. It is, and it doesn't overheat the rifle. So the thing, of course, is that as has always been the case, if the raid can reach you, you have problems. So that is kind of the compensation there, and we'll see again from the stats ultimately if it's enough. Oh yeah, I forgot it had a nice sweeping downswing too. I do not use melee on the Super Gundam very often at all. But yeah, as you can see, with 2 people on Demo, yeah, it does not take very long, especially one being, I think, the Superb Jagan, which Okay, perfect Gundam. Yeah, and I think the other one was, well, it was some form of Jagan, and yeah, it's again, once somebody's on you, it doesn't take much. So it's kind of, there's a bunch of different ways to make supports and make raids, but this I think is the, is the sniper, the artillery model where it's like if you can stay away from the enemy. Okay, yeah, that is a superb Jagan. If you can stay away from the enemy, great. You'll be able to do tremendous damage, and when they get on you, you are gone. Just like the kind of the exact deal with raids where if you can if you can reach the support or you don't get interrupted, you can take you can do a ton of damage, and if they stop you, you're probably going to stay stopped. And also just one of the one of those uniquely GBO2 feelings of being surrounded and stabbed by like 4 or 5 people, and then having somebody who you're not sure where they are say support me from elsewhere. Just yeah, like that is the experience. That is GBO2 in a nutshell, or at least it sure feels like it. But good days and bad days, as with everything else. But let's see. Okay, yep. Another one shot, I think, on the Perfect Gundam, which, yeah, those things, because that is a very melee intensive unit, those can be real trouble for supports if they get close. But yeah, this is actually a really good demonstration of what I'm saying about how Super Gundam operates. This may be, depending on the environment, depending on the stage and the enemy team composition, yeah, this may end up being balanced fine, because yeah, they have at least 2 raids, which is not going to help demo here. Also, again, Superb Jagan is one that can operate well at a distance, and Conroy Jagan is one that can sneak up on you. So that's really kind of a very bad combination for a support. But yeah, good intercept there on the downswing, and yep, good shot to the feet. And yep, got somebody on a drive-by with the missiles. Very nice. And yeah, back behind the Allies is the best place to be. And yeah, of course, since the fully charged rifle is a Garrow-B, it pierces. I believe, actually, as I recall, that was one of the things that Super Gundam had going for it when it first came out, is that I don't remember if it pierces at uncharged, but it definitely pierces at single charge, and I want to say it may heavy stagger at single charge. I don't recall. It has been too long since I played Super Gundam, and obviously not going for a single charge most of the time when I'm playing it now, because that is just so good. But yeah, I think it did. I remember it had the rifle did have qualities that made it uniquely good when it first came out. I'm going to have to look up my own videos to see if I remember correctly, aren't I? Probably. But yeah, okay. But yeah, with this, it can definitely rack up some good damage and good hits. Even when inevitably, as a sniper, your allies walk directly into your line of fire. Seems like Demo has some cool allies, though, because they both sent sorry. So, yeah, just team is keeping on good terms. That's always good. And heavy equipment Jagan is down. MLRS accidentally drifted into the beam, but there is the Conroy Jagan who, yeah, snuck up behind Demo and took him out, and is now probably, well, it looks like it's getting intercepted by a Gaz R. Yeah, Gazar is the general one. Brain. But yeah, it was definitely trying to sneak up on both the supports, but I'd say the MLRS can still dole out really good damage too. So, but yeah, it definitely was having problems, and yeah, Demo trying to see if he could line up a different shot and not hit his allies. And shot lined up, and yeah, managed to just about melt that thing even with an interruption as he realigned the beam. The beam is also nice and steerable, but like the amount of adjustability on Garrowby weapons is extremely variable. Some things can move them like this, you can move them a tiny little bit, and some you can't move at all. So, yeah, and that was a fire nut. That is the Conroy Jagan doing Conroy Jagan things behind him. And yeah, that is out. And now, yeah, I bet that's the Superb Jagan. Again, this is. I'm going to be interested to see just how the final ratio for demo on this, because it is just, yeah, it is definitely, definitely a lot of back and forth here. Enemy team has the lead. It's a very slim lead. The red flashes on the base marker on the Allied side means they're probably sticking near the base, which is not what I would do with, that little lead with this little time left. But, yeah, because, yeah, this does give, especially with a couple of good long-range supports, good opportunity for the Allied team to make that back up. Like one good, one good beam, and they've got it, and that person on low health, I'm pretty sure Demo will get an assist for that if someone else gets it. So, but yeah, of course, you are stuck in place while charging the rifle. So, okay, somebody got it, but the enemy team has still managed to maintain its lead, and I don't think Demo can do enough damage quite fast enough. Not even with, maybe if that second rapid fire beam had hit, but it was really close. But it was a fun round, so nothing wrong with that. And let's take a look at stats. 150,000 damage, 1320 assist. Gaz R got the top score. I'm going to have to try that out now. Yep, 5 and 5. So, yeah, really good damage output, good score, but yeah, still very fragile. So, yeah, that is going to do it for today's Gundam Battle Operation 2. We will be back soon with more. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later. Okay, so yeah, got the release ranged output limiter level 1 skill, which is what gives you a second charge level on the long rifle. Got a rapid fire variant of the rifle. At level 1, got an extra close range slot, an extra mid, and an extra long. So went from 5 to 6, 14 to 15, and 21 to 22. Composite high mobility combat system was given at level 3 for the level 1 skill and level 4 for the level 2 skill. And level 3 and above also has pursuit ranged auxiliary program. So yeah, things that are stunned or knocked down, you will do even more damage to, which I believe is going to mean I'm pretty sure the pursuit does work on stun. If it does, that means that pretty much every hit of the Garrowby past the first one is going to do additional damage. Now that might need adjusted. But yeah, I think composite high mobility combat system combines, I believe it gives extra like turn speed and possibly boost speed. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to actually look at that because I don't remember. Long rifle to get charging to the first level now only takes 2 seconds instead of 4. Power at level 1 went up 100 points for the uncharged shot from 2,500 to 26. Charged shot level 1 also got an increase in power. The missile pods now have more damage. They do 325 each before, damage adjustments at level 1, and also are quicker to swap to. So, yeah, that is handy too. Wow. Okay, so at level 1, the support average win rate at 550 is an even 50%. Super Gundam level 1 was at 46.4%. Rival win rate was kind of low at 38% versus 49 on average. Damage was definitely below average, 85 versus 69. Losses were less though. That is kind of the plight of the long range mobile suit. Just yeah, you don't get killed as much, but you also, you also may not be able to deal enough damage to justify that. Similar stories at level 2. Win rate for support's 51 at 600 cost. It was at 45. 33% win rate against a average rival win rate of 50.7. Damage dealt 68,000, so it actually went down, and that's bad because on average, supports are doing 93,000 at that cost. And MS losses are still down from the average. This time, like a full half a mobile suit lower. 3.3 MS loss is average for supports, and it was at 2.8. And then at 650 is where the numbers start to drop off even harder. Level 3 Super Gundam has a 41.4% win rate against the 51.6% average for supports. 31.5 rival win versus 50.9. Yeah, and 67,000 damage versus 102,000 on average. That's bad. So yeah, maybe I see why they gave it that pursuit ranged program at higher levels, because yeah, it was really, really suffering. That's wow. Still a half a mobile suit, fewer losses. 3.2 versus is the average. 2.7 is what it was doing. The losses come up at 700, but unfortunately nothing else does. 50.5% is the average for support types at 700. 39.2% win rate is what Super Gundam was managing. Rival win rate for supports at 700, a little bit lower than the other costs. 47.8% is the average. Super Gundam had 30.6. 105,000 damage is the average for supports, and Super Gundam's damage numbers went down from 60 down to 66,000, like diminishing returns on damage all the way down. So yeah, I can see why they gave it what they gave it, because it boy did it need help. But on the upside, it was getting blown up more closer to average, so that's better. No, it actually is not, of course. 3.4 is the average for supports at 700. 3.2 is where Super Gundam was. And yeah, boy, did it need help. And I'm glad it got it. We'll have to see how it looks at the end of the month, because I really am curious.